Jai Gurudev. Jai Masters. At some point in one's life, you have to decide, do you want to live little or do you want to live big? It's not a question of ego or what you get done or success or anything. It's a question of your frame of reference. Do you have a very small frame of reference or a very expansive frame of reference? A small frame of reference would be, I think about me. I think about me. Who am I going to marry? Am I well? Am I healthy? Who likes me? How many likes do I have on Facebook? And it's about me. What do I want to do with my life? What's my career? Will I do something important? There's nothing wrong with it. But you have to pay attention. That's a very small frame of reference. It's about me. Everything's about me. My husband, my wife, my children, my career, my job, my boss, my car, my shirt. Right? Just don't get embarrassed. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It just is what it is. It's very small. If you live that life, then what your life will be about is you. Because that's what you decided your life was about. To most people, they would say, well, of course my life's about me. Nobody else's life about me. My life has to be about me. Who else is going to take care of me if I don't take care of it? And so you then will do things like spending your life trying to find the right person for you. Okay? And y'all think that's perfectly reasonable. That's very important who you marry. It's very important who you hang out with. To you, there's 7 billion people on the planet Earth. They couldn't care less. This is about you. And it seems like so important, doesn't it? My God, how can anything be more important than who am I going to marry? To you, if you want to live that small life, then that's what it's about. Why? Well, what's so important? I want to feel loved. I want to feel people are excited to see me when I come home. I want to have somebody I can talk to that I trust. I have some close relationship with and I feel comfortable. I. All of those things sound really important, and they are to you. How you feel and whether you feel love and whether somebody likes you and whether you feel comfortable sharing with. They're very important things, aren't they? Obviously not in the realm of things. They're not very important things. You only came here yesterday and you're leaving tomorrow, relatively. You just dropped down on a planet in the middle of nowheres, and that's little enough. But now the only thing I think about is me. So it is reasonable, and don't get embarrassed and don't resist. It is reasonable that what we call the personal self. There is a personal self. You have one. You better respect it. You better understand it. What is the personal self? The one that thinks about you. The one that is concerned about you and your well-being. That's very personal. You could get a little scratch on your arm and it'll take up your whole day and you want to hide it and you don't want to show it to anybody. It's like it's your personal self. You take everything personal. Drop some ketchup on your shirt and let's see you go back to work. You're all embarrassed to see anybody, to talk to anybody. You cover it up. There's a whole universe out there, really big. Lots of billions of stars and planets and all kinds of stuff. And you got this little mark on your shirt, and that's all your life's about. Now, I'm not knocking that. I want you to understand it. It's called the personal self. And if you don't do something about it, that is what your life will be about. Why? Because it's really noisy. It's got a lot of preferences, a lot of fears, a lot of desires, a lot of rules, a lot of stuff done there. It is absolutely full of you. And not only is it loud, but it's really close to you. Well, I don't see it. That's because you live inside and it's in there with you. Your wife, your husband, your kids, your boss, that's bad enough they're so close causing you trouble. They're out here. You live inside, don't you? You in there? Hi. Okay. It's in there with you. And it's noisy. So it's very hard to get away from, isn't it? Hard to not listen to. If it doesn't like something, you're in big trouble, aren't you? You're not going to sleep at night. You're not going to like your dinner. You're not going to smile. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to want to go anywhere, right? Because it doesn't like something. If it likes something and can't have it, you don't want to be in there with that, do you? So I'm telling you, This is the personal self. I want to introduce you to it. I want you to get to know it. And I want to talk to you about whether you really want to devote your entire time on this little planet to that. Because if you don't do something about it, that is what you're going to do. It is noisy enough, it is loud enough, and it is close enough to you. It's the closest thing to you. It's right up there in your face. And it can create a storm, can't it? If you don't do something about it, you will be like everybody else that walked around on this planet. It will run your life. You will have devoted your life to what it likes, what it doesn't like, when it's comfortable, when it's not comfortable. It says jump, you jump. It says I want that, you go get it. It says I don't like that, you run. You do what it says, don't you? Just sit there and be with a group of people and have somebody say something you don't agree with and see all the noise it makes. What should I do about this? Should I say something? I don't want that guy anyways. Right? It's just like, wow, it ruins your life. Unless you want to devote your life to it. If you want to, fine, there it is. That's the default. There are other lives to live here. That's what people don't understand. I said, do you want to devote yourself to a little life or a big life? That's a little life. I'm not degrading it. I'm just saying it's little because its scope is very little. Did I get ketchup on my shirt? What does somebody think of me? Did I say something that's embarrassing? Do I like what I said in the last conversation? And the little self's doing it over and over again, what you should have said and what you could have said. Oh my God, why didn't I say that? Yes or no? That's the personal self. You know how you know it's the little self? It's about you. That's the litmus test. Is what you're watching about you. What you said and what you think and what you want and what you don't want and what you did 10 years ago, what might happen to you tomorrow and who likes you and who doesn't like you. Do you understand that? I could go on and on, couldn't I? If it's talking about you, then that's what I'm talking about. The personal self. Right? There are other lives. What other life? There's a bigger life. There's a life that says, I was dropped onto the planet Earth. I don't know why. I don't know where I came from. Do you know where you came from? Nope. I just know I'm here. Here I am. And I'm aware that I'm here. I'm a conscious being. I don't know what consciousness is, but I'm it. Scientists say, no, there's nothing but chemicals. Oh, yeah? It's like somebody said, I think, therefore I am. No, I am, therefore I think. I am, therefore I notice there's thinking going on in here. Is that true or not? There. There's no question which one came first. The awareness of being. So whatever that is, I'm it. I am a conscious being who is aware of my existence. That's my starting position. And I have been dropped down onto the planet Earth. We can get off the planet Earth now and look at it floating out there. That's where I live. I don't live in Pluto. How about you? We went to Pluto. We went to Mars. We went all over the place. It's really nice, right? But it ain't like Earth. There's nothing going on in Pluto. Walk outside and see what you see on this planet. Whoa. This planet's covered, it's not covered with red dirt. It's not covered with ice. It's covered with living things. The whole planet has either got water with all kinds of stuff in it. It's got grass growing and trees. And it's an amazing place. I won the lottery. Whoever I am and where I came from, I dropped down onto the planet Earth. Very good. That's a much bigger thought. Your thoughts are now not in relationship to you. They're in relationship to the universe. There's a whole universe out there. Billions and billions of stars in this one galaxy. And there's billions of galaxies. And there's one planet spinning around one star. And we're just spinning around on it. And you drop down on there. That's a much bigger thought than whether I got ketchup on my shirt. So that's a bigger life. You now have let your frame of reference. We've let your frame of reference include something more than you. All right? So now I'm on the planet, and we're talking about a bigger life. How long will I be here? Forever? I'm here. No, I don't think so. For a blink of an eye. The planet, they say, has been here for 5 billion years. How long are you going to be here? 70, 80, 90. Might make it to 100. Compare that to 5 billion. Right? I always tell people when I throw these numbers out, you know, the universe has been here 12.8 billion, and the Earth's been here for 5 billion. This is how you get a feeling for those numbers. You're going to live, say, 80 to 100 years. I'll give you 80 years, all right? I want you to sit in the corner over there, and at the speed of 1 second per number, I want you to count to 80. How long will it take you? 1 minute and 20 seconds. I want you to count at the same speed to 1 billion. And it's just a billion, right? 5 billion is the Earth. 13.8 billion is the age of the universe, right? How long would it take you? We calculated it once, right? I think it was something like 42 years. I think it was 42 years to 1 billion, right? Or something like that. It was some ridiculous number, all right? So that's the difference between how long you will live, 1 minute and 20 seconds, versus what's going on around here. So you've dropped down onto the planet. You don't know where you came from. It's called truth. You've dropped down onto the planet. You're aware that you're here. You will be here for a sneeze's worth, and then you will leave. Where will you go when you leave? Now, you watch when you talk to me. I didn't say, where do you think you will go? I didn't say, where do you believe you will go? I asked you a simple question. Where did you come from? I don't know. Where will you go when you leave? Say it with me. I don't know. Wow. Congratulations. Doesn't that feel good? You don't have to choose. I don't know. But I'll find out, maybe. If I'm still there afterwards, I'll write you a postcard. You won't get it. I'll let you know. All right? So it's very simple. I was dropped down onto a planet. That's big. I don't know where I came from. That's fine. It's expansive. It's open. There it is. And I'm going to be here for a very short period of time. And then we'll leave. I don't know where to go. Very good. Now, why would I want to talk like that? Because it's the truth. And now I'm going to ask you a question. What do you want to do with your time here? You really want to spend it on the ketchup on your shirt? You really want to spend it on whether people like you or don't like you, or run around the planet and wait for one soulmate to show up and then go lock yourself away with somebody and see if you can get along better than 50% of all marriages in the United States end up in divorce. Hope you do better than that. Is that what you want to do with your time? Because I don't think it is. I think that there are bigger things to do, all right? But you're going to have trouble doing the bigger things. Why? Because I'm telling you, that personal self is really strong, and it's very noisy. So if you decide, no, I want to leave the place better than I came down. I don't care if it's just a garden that they make nicer, right? I want to have made it better because I was here. When I say living a bigger life, I don't mean you solved international problems and all diseases went away. It has nothing to do with that. What I said was you lived a life that was devoted to more than yourself. It was very easy to see the little life, wasn't it? It's the one we live. It's the one that makes all the noise in front of us. What a bigger life means is if I just have this short period of time on this planet, I would like to raise it. I would like to do something that makes it a better place to live for others. I don't want to limit the time I have to making me okay. That's so meaningless. Right? I might as well not have been here because all I did was live for me. All I did was devote myself to making sure I feel good and I don't get scared and that's what you're going to do. You're going to devote yourself to the smallest part of your being, the one that's freaked out, the one that's scared. I'm trying to get people to like you. Why? Because you don't feel good when people don't like you. So you got to put on a little show, impress everybody, and make sure everybody likes you. All right? How did that make this world a better place? All it did was keep you from feeling some pain. It's just very, very limited. And I don't have the answer to what you want to do. I just want you to raise the question, and I want you to have the right. This is what I'll do. I want you, one, to understand you do not have to live the little life. You do not, right? You have the right to be more aware than that and be more conscious and devote your life to something greater than the problems that you're having, which is where everybody devotes their life, don't they? Right? They're devoting my life to solving the problems I'm having. I'm lonely. I don't feel good. I get depressed. I need to feel some meaning in my life. In other words, I have a problem. And I've devoted my life to the lowest part of my being, the part that has problems, right? The part that's not even thinking about the rest of the universe. I told you, it really is very constricting. So you have to decide what you want to do other than that. So I'd like to raise the question, but ultimately what I'd like to do is show you how when you decide how to deal with your lower self. It's one thing to decide I'd like to live a bigger life. Good luck. Because I'm telling you that lower self is very, very strong. It pulls you back down into it, doesn't it? In a billionth of a second, next thing you know, you're thinking about somebody's got a nicer car than me. What am I going to do? Oh my God, I'm embarrassed to take him home. Should I take him home? Well, that's not too impressive. My house isn't really nice compared to his. It's like, it's amazing. We are so fixated on ourselves. You invite someone to your house, you're not even thinking about them. You're thinking about how you can impress them. How are you not going to embarrass yourself? How can you do it to where you feel better? It's always about you. All right, so we have to learn how to do that. So first, what does it mean to live a bigger life? It means you have stopped living a little life. That's good enough, right? If you can learn to free yourself, we call it liberate yourself from the noise of the little one, so that you can pick your head up above it and see, I'm on a planet spinning through space. It should be in your mind all the time. Everything that's happening to you is happening on a tiny little planet spinning in the middle of absolutely nowheres. That's really very liberating. That's very beautiful. It's a real truth. Maybe then you'll enjoy being on the planet and looking at different things. I told you once, next time somebody says to you, what did you do today? The correct answer is a 360. I spun on my axis. What did you do last year? A big 360. I took a lap. How about you? I took a lap around the star. Well, that was a pretty big accomplishment, right? Spinning around the middle of space. I took a ride around a star. How about you? Isn't that romantic? Isn't that beautiful? So you're out there. You've got a broader view. And now what's going to happen is, let's just take you to, if you really did the work, this is what your life would be like. You would wake up in the morning and you would be so excited. I swear it'd be like Christmas morning, every single morning. Why? Because you're about to get the present of another day on the planet Earth. Another day is going to happen on the planet Earth, and you get to experience part of it. And do you understand that no human being or animal has ever experienced the day that you're about to experience? Ever. In the history of creation. It never happened before, and it'll never happen again. What you're going to experience is completely unique. It's a premiere, first showing. All right? And someday you're going to catch on that what you experience, you are the only one actually experiencing that. Like you're seeing me at a different angle than these other guys. And it will never be seen again. Holy mackerel. Do you like to feel you're special? How is that not special? God really went out of his way to really make you feel special, and you're just missing it. So you're about to get a private showing of something that's never existed for 13.8 billion years since the beginning of the creation of the universe, and you're going to get to see it and experience it, and that's why you're excited when you wake up in the morning. Nothing. You just wake up. Oh boy. And I wonder what will happen. That's like a child waking up saying, it's Christmas. Yes, it's Christmas. You're going to experience something never happened before. And I don't know what it's going to be. I wonder what the presents will be. Every moment is a present. Every moment is a free experience. This is how a great being sees this world. How much do you have to pay for the experiences you're having? Nothing. They're gifts. Every experience. Imagine if you looked at it that way. Imagine if you were like, the Bible says, lest ye be as little children. That's what it means. You ever see a kid play with a stick? Or a stone, or dirt, okay, or a leaf, right? It's free. It's just, wow. You get to have the experiences that are in front of you today. So you start to go through the day, and you're excited about what's happening. And you meet different people, and different animals, and different things, and all kinds of stuff's going to happen to you. And you enjoy it. You appreciate it. You have gratitude, and it's just fun. And you don't just passively do it. You interact with it. It's like an interactive video game. Somebody comes up and starts talking to you. It's like there's a person talking, and I understand what he means. It's weird. I'm sitting on a planet. An animal came up to talk to me, and I could understand what he was saying. Maybe I'll say something back. I wonder what will happen. Everything's play. Everything's fun. Everything's an experience. Well, what if it gets challenging? What if something happens and I feel threatened or I feel challenged? Well, that's a good video game. It gotcha. You got to try hard. It'll bring out something great in you as a sport. It's called a sport, God's Lila. You're playing a sport. You're dancing with the universe. It's not passive. It's active. It's interactive. But dancing is fun. Do you like dancing? You like sports? That's what this is. It's your ability to interact with the unfolding of the days that are coming to you. And now all of a sudden, 50, 60, 80 years, if you take them day by day, minute by minute, that's a long time. It's beautiful. I'm going to have all these experiences. How many experiences are you going to have while you're here on the planet Earth? It's unbelievable. How isn't it? And well, they cost nothing. That's how a great being interacts with life. They are completely open. They are appreciating as a gift every single thing that's happening and coming in. And then basically at some point, because you are enjoying it, because you're appreciating it, because even the challenging things you enjoy, I mean, who wants to play a sport, volleyball or football, against a team that you always win by 100 points? Wouldn't you rather play somebody who's closer to your capabilities and be challenged? All right? Life challenges you, doesn't it? It's just beautiful. That's the difference. If somebody's playing a sport and they're really a good competitor, and there's a competitor on the other side that's seemingly better than them and keeps beating them, they don't go back to the huddle and say, oh, this is overwhelming. I don't know what to do. This is just overwhelming. They say, I'll get him next time. This guy's good. Wow. They're challenged. There's a difference feeling challenged and having to dig deep inside yourself and bring out your best, right? And saying, oh, I'm overwhelmed. I don't want to play anymore. There's the difference in what it means to see a bigger life. So now you come out into the field of play, the field of life. You are open. You're appreciative. You are willing to take on the challenge. And then when the day is over, you lay down and you laugh. I got to experience the day. You don't review it and see what you did wrong and this, that, and the other thing. It's gone. You let it go. There'll be another one tomorrow. And each moment, what happens if you live like this, you actually start to enjoy your life. It's the funniest thing in the world. You don't wait till you get married to the right person to enjoy your life. You enjoy your life, whether you're married or not, whether you met somebody or not. You enjoy every single aspect of every moment of your life. There are no needs. It's not a need situation. It's a receptive, appreciative enjoyment. I'm on the planet Earth. I'm on the nicest planet as far as we can tell in the universe. The Hubble's been looking all over the place. Find anything nicer. No one has found anything. If they found a drop of water on the surface of any planet, it would be the front page of the New York Times. On your planet, it falls out of the sky. And you just get to the point where you start to turn your personal stuff into this broader appreciation for what has been given to you, for the beauty of your life. You don't wait to have a beautiful life. You have a beautiful life. Life is beautiful. Everything. All right? And because you don't have these needs and all this complaining and all this noise, a very funny thing happens. And it's very natural. Something presents itself to you. I don't care what it is. A person, a place, a roach, anything. Different things come before you. And what you feel is, since you are so whole, there's just this sense, is there anything I can do to raise what's in front of me? To make it a little more beautiful, to make it a little bit easier. Let's say there's a spider or a little lizard in the house or something like that. You just take a cup and you put it over him, and you feel all this love that you're going to take him outside. Why wouldn't you do that? If you're open and you have no issues or problems, you just help what's in front of you. You're driving in a car and someone's not driving so well in front of you. You can get uptight, you can get upset, or you can feel a sense of that poor guy or girl is having issues. They're scared, or they're not paying attention, or they're doing something, all right? And because you are fine, you just feel this sense that I don't even want to send out bad vibes. I'm telling you, it's the slightest little thing. You just get to the point that because you're okay, you want to devote the moments of your life to first experiencing what life is bringing to you, being grateful for it, literally feeling grateful. I'm grateful that I was born in a time that there are cars. Aren't you grateful you were born in a time that there are smartphones? You can walk around and know everything. It's kind of fascinating, isn't it? Just, Siri, where's Afghanistan? She tells you, all right? It's unheard of. So you live in a very exciting time, and there's very exciting things going on, and you actually be appreciative. You be appreciative for every moment that is unfolding in front of you. And because you're appreciative, you feel love. You feel joy. You feel openness. You feel happy. You know, Christmas morning when all the kids are opening their presents is a good time to not have the kids fight with you. It's just like they're too busy enjoying what's happening. That's how you literally get with your life. And now when things unfold in front of you, you are happy to serve. You're happy to help. You're happy to give. You don't have to try. It's just a natural state because you're not in a state of need. That's what a bigger life is. And what's amazing is even if you're just doing it with the little things that are in front of you, it's sort of like you do something with a wasp, then you help a little cat, and you do it. Next thing you know, the city's giving you an award for the Association of, Against Cruelty to Animals. And what did you do? You weren't even doing anything, right? And your pictures in the paper and these things are happening. It's just the weirdest thing in the world. And it starts happening over and over and over again. That which everybody else wants just comes naturally to you. And all of a sudden, for some reason, people like you. You're not trying to have them like you. You don't even want anybody. You couldn't care less. And that's why, because you couldn't care less. You're not doing things to bother them. When you stop being the little person and then imposing everything around you with your little personness, which means what? I'm telling you, the word for the little person is taking. And I know it's really blunt. It's a taker. Because, look, you're talking about the romance of finding the soulmate. You might want to take yourself a soulmate. Grab it, take it, hold on to it, be jealous, be possessive, watch where it's going, hire a detective. There is no end to where the ego will go. I told you, I remember this, that was 30, 40 years ago. A friend of mine once said, I need to find the right person, the right girl for me in my life. He's a very intelligent guy. And he said, I'm moving. I said, well, you're moving. You have a nice job here. He said, I'm going to move up to the Boston area. Well, you want to move up to the Boston area? He said, well, it's more likely that I would meet a woman of my intellectual level who's interested in the sort of things that I have because there's all these different high-level schools up there. So really? It's like, what are you doing? It's for you. What you're doing has nothing to do with the other person. You're trying to get something for yourself. That's not a relationship. A relationship is when you care more about the other person than you care about yourself. But if you're going out there trying to find a person who matches you, I don't want to be that person because I doubt I'm going to match you. But that's the ego mind. It's about me. It's about me. So basically, people are people. They are not objects that you are taking from because there's something wrong with you. I'm lonely. I need to find someone that makes me not lonely. Fix what's wrong with you. I'm telling you right now, be the bigger life. Be the bigger life where you feel expansive and excited. Tell me what it's like to be around somebody who's turned on and excited and enthused about what they're doing. You like it? Or you like being around a depressed guy? There's not a comparison, is there? Somebody who's enthusiastic, excited, committed, and turned on by what they're doing is very lovable. The energy is addictive, isn't it? It pulls you into it. It's contagious. So if you live the bigger life, that which you're trying to get with the little life happens naturally. People are attracted to you, but don't do it for that reason. I don't like that. All right? You do it for the reason that it's the truth. How can I not be enjoying my life? I've dropped down to this phenomenal planet. There are so many things going on. I was given a body. It's just the most amazing thing in the whole world. There's trillions and trillions of cells inside your body. Do you know that? I don't know, it's 10, 14 trillion, not billion, trillion. And they're all doing functions and dividing, and every 7 years they remade themselves. Trillions of them. Did you say thank you? When was the time you said thank you? Your liver, your kidney, your spleen, you don't even know where it is. And it's in there working for you constantly, secreting and talking to everybody else in there. It's really very sophisticated in there. You were given an amazing robot to walk around this planet and be in. Have you said thank you? If they stop doing what they're doing, you're in big trouble. And so if you start to live a life of appreciation, of expansiveness, of openness, which it doesn't cost any money, you don't have to meditate, you don't have to do anything. You just decide, yes, Mickey, you are right. I have inside of me, right in my face, a major problem. A part of my being that doesn't live like that. A part of my being that says all the time, it's about me. What do I need? What do I want? What do I like? And how do I get it? What do I not want? And how do I avoid it? How about if I said that? Do you or do you not have something right in your face inside of you that every single moment is basically saying, what do I want and how do I get it? And what do I not want and how do I avoid it? It's not an exaggeration, is it? Right? When you look out through your eyes, what are you looking for? How do I see what I want and how do I get it? And what do I not want and how do I avoid it? Just watch. Just watch when you look out your eyes. Why are you looking at particular things? How do you pick out what you're looking at? Because I might want it or I might not want it. I'm telling you, when you wake up, it'll shock you how much what I'm talking about is truth. That thing is completely about itself. It just thinks about itself. That's what it does. If you don't do something about it, your consciousness and awareness of being will continue to be absorbed in that. And what that thing will do is constantly tell you what it needs in order to be okay. It'll think about it. Think about what do I want, what do I not want, what do I need to be okay, and what do I better avoid because it's going to make me worse. And then it will think about how to get it and how to avoid it. And those will be all its thoughts. And your life will be just caught up in that tiny little thing. So it's sort of like trading a life of like and dislike for a life of gratitude and appreciation. Now let's talk about how do you do this? Because there's no comparison to these two lives. One is fun all the time. Like one person's out there, like my friend from 40 years ago, out there looking for some woman who's going to take care of all his problems. Basically, you look at that and you can spend your life trying to do that. Or you can say that any person I'm interacting with is a fun, beautiful experience. If someday one of them sticks, and I find that they're living with me, and we're at an altar getting married, that will be what's happening that day. That's where I'll be. Not a big deal. Look how natural that is. If I end up at an altar getting married because there's so much love and the closeness and that's what's going on, then there's no decision. There's no, cold feet, no running away, no nothing. It's like, guess it's meant to be. That's what unfolded in the universe. I don't have to do anything. I'm telling you, there is a life in which you just honor, respect, and appreciate that there is a world, a universe, and you were born into it. And that you have the right, the honor of experiencing what's unfolding in front of you. You don't get to see the whole thing. It's really big. Your frame of reference is pretty small. But at least you're looking at it instead of looking at yourself. When you're dealing with the ego mind, you're in there. They're just in there all the time, trying to figure out what you want and how to get it and what you don't like and complaining about what happened before and everything like that. That's in here. You're not even out here. You're not even experiencing reality. So you come out and you experience it, and you're going to find that things happen. What happens? Life. Life happens. And I'm telling you, it may happen that you end up married with children. It may happen that you don't. It's fine. As long as you're having fun, you should be enjoying your life. You should be doing things. And it will happen naturally. You may end up with a lot of money. You may end up with a little. You may end up living to 100. You may live to 40. What's the difference? If you've lived one day of your life, lived it, not scared, not looking for something, but actually lived and enjoyed and appreciated the experience that life is unfolding in front of me, and I get to dance with it. I get to experience it. You're going to find one day is enough. It's very whole, very real, touches your whole being. It's like the most beautiful day of your entire life. Then you get to have another one tomorrow and tomorrow. This is the bigger life. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to do anything other than be appreciative and excited and enthused about getting to live another day and getting to interact with reality and getting to meet people. Imagine meeting people and getting to know them instead of trying to make them know you. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Somebody once said to me, he said something so beautiful, I never forgot it. He said, Mickey, I can remember the day that I walked into a room, and instead of caring about what people thought about me, I cared about what I thought about them. Well, that'd be refreshing, wouldn't it? You just get to meet people instead of trying to impress them with you, instead of being afraid they don't like you, instead of being afraid you said something wrong. He was just talking about the bigger versus the little. So all of a sudden now you're getting to meet all these people. They're not wrong or right. They're just different. They're like flowers. Every person's different, aren't they? There's nothing wrong with that unless you want something from them. Then there's good ones and bad ones. Those that fit and those who don't, friends and not friends. There's not anything like that. There's just people walking around a planet like you are, but they're lost. Almost every one of them is completely lost in the personal mind. That's all they're doing. They're in there thinking, what do I want? What do I not want? What went wrong? What can I do about it? Who's to blame? What should I... You hear me? That's what's going on inside of everybody's head. That's why Buddha said the highest state is compassion. When you get out, and that's not going on inside your head, you have such compassion for everybody else. Because you say, oh my God, they're suffering. They're suffering. Everyone suffering. And what's worse is for absolutely no reason. You can be having fun. You're having fun with the whole thing. So net result is, you decide, I want to have a big life. I want to live a big life. Doesn't mean you're successful. Doesn't mean you're the president. I told you what a big life means. A not little one. That's your definition, right? I am not going to devote my consciousness to this tiny little complaining idiot that's inside my head that only has one way that everything needs to be, otherwise it's not okay. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that better never happen, including it better not rain tomorrow. And it will do it, won't it? And the next thing you catch on and you say, I don't want to live like that. All right. So the question now becomes, how do you not? I hope I convinced you. There are two lives, little and big. They call it personal and impersonal. How do you do that? It is not hard. It's not hard. You're just not taught properly how to do it. First of all, very few people even are aware of what we talked about. And then they don't know how to do it. You have to appreciate and recognize that it exists, this little self. It is a state of mind. It does not exist outside. The outside world is unfolding. It's been doing it for a long time. But inside your head, you have created a series of thought patterns that go over and over again that are about you, right? It's like a habit. And so it just does that. And then, because doing that made you very constrictive, you're not happy. I'm telling you, that's why you're not happy. Little kids can be happy with nothing. You can't. Why? Because you decided things have to be the way you want. You don't realize it, but you decided that you can't be happy unless things are the way you want. And you decided that you're really not going to be happy if they're the way you don't want. You decided that. Now, because you decided that, it's true. I want her to like me, not him. I don't care about anybody else. I only care about her. You're in big trouble. So she. What kind of thought pattern is that? There's a world unfolding, and maybe this person, something will happen. You'll see. But you don't get to decide that I won't be happy unless she likes me. Then meet somebody else. I don't want to meet him. I want to meet her. And so you limit your ability to be happy to your thoughts. That's what I told you. It keeps that little self, keeps doing this. So now you're not happy. Now you're lonely. How could you be lonely? There's 7 billion people on the planet. You can't be lonely. When was the last time you didn't see any people? Never. There's not people, there's mosquitoes and dogs and possums and things. You can't be lonely. On Mars you can be lonely. On Pluto that's very lonely. There's nothing going on, right? You cannot be lonely on the planet Earth unless you make yourself lonely by saying, I don't care about the possums. I don't care about the deer. I don't care about 7 billion people. I care about that one. And she's not with me. You did that. You said that. Therefore, it's that way. So the way out is very simple. You first appreciate, I mean appreciate and respect, that monster exists. That you built, it's just a pattern of thoughts in your mind. It doesn't exist anywhere else. And yours is different than his, isn't it? It's different than that. And yours is different than it was when you were 10. It's just a pattern of thoughts, isn't it? It's called your self-concept, your psyche. I don't know what you want to call it. It's thoughts. It is just a collection of thoughts that you built inside your head, and now the neural pathways are carved that way, and so it all patterns and goes over and over again. I'm going to say some words to you. Ben, every one of you, something came up about some Ben you knew. Good, bad, and different. Or I never met a Ben. Girl, man, woman. I could throw some stuff out there. There'd be some changes going on in your head. All right? $1 million. Ferrari. Mortgages. The net result is every word I say, that little thing starts creating thoughts and feelings, doesn't it? And every one of you do it different. You just had your mortgage paid off because the bank got sued, and you just lost your house because of your mortgage. I'm telling you, it's just a thing. It's a thing. It's a pattern of thoughts that was made up because of your past experiences, and you did it. You in there decided, if this happens again, I'll be happy. If that happens again, I really won't. So I want this to happen. I don't want that to happen. And it just developed all these thought patterns about how things need to be for you to be okay. Do you see it? How strong is it? It's so strong, it runs your entire life. How things need to be for me to be okay. How about I just say it like that? How things need to be for me to be okay. I swear to God, not 2 of you have the same thing in there. Okay, you've been married for 30 years. You do not have the same thing in there. It is based on your past experiences, your personal past experiences, and how things hit you. And so you develop this whole thing. All right. So you have to first begin by honoring and respecting that it is a thing that does exist. Don't say, I don't want to have one. You have one. You have one, don't you? If you're going to fight with it or you're going to work your way free of it, you have to at least respect that it's there. So you start respecting that I have this thing inside of me that keeps telling me how everybody else needs to be for me to be okay. That's my favorite line. It does do it, doesn't it? It tells me how everybody else needs to be for me to be okay. That is so weird. Why doesn't it tell me how I need to be for me to be okay? No, it never does that. It tells me how everybody else needs to be, how the weather needs to be, how everything needs to be for me to be okay. So you start by respecting that exists. Feel the edges. Watch it. Get to know it. It's called witness consciousness. Just watch it. I don't want you to change it. I don't want you to fight it. I don't want you to get rid of it. I want you to come to know it. I want you to look at the outer edges. How big is it? Where did it come from? And how long has it been that way? I just want you to watch it do its thing. First, it's ugly. Do not expect to look at that thing and think it's beautiful. It's not. Okay, it's like if you have some kind of boily growth on your arm or something. I know you don't want to show it to anybody, but show it to the doctor. It's ugly, it is, but you want to show it to the right person. You want to see this thing. Otherwise, it's going to run your life and it's ugly. Versus you see that it's ugly. It's very personal. It's very selfish. It only thinks about itself. And there's nothing wrong with that. You look me in the eyes, I'm looking at you. There's nothing wrong with that. That is its nature. It is about you. It is this tiny little thing that got built about you. It's called the personal self. The personal self cannot be not personal. That's why it's the personal self. The problem is it's not you. It's something in there that got built. You need to learn how to deal with it so that it doesn't run your life, so that it doesn't own you. That's what it means to live a bigger life. So you first look at it, you see it, and you decide, okay, thank you, but no thank you. That is how you deal with that. You don't yell at it. You don't try to change. That's what people waste, even their spiritual growth. They try to make the personal self beautiful. Love thy neighbor like thyself. To be selfless. Help. Give it all away. And this thing's in there. And you're trying to make it. Talk about lipstick on a pig. Whoa. All right. You wear all the white clothes you want and turn those wallabies and have that thing going on in there. It don't mean nothing. It is not about trying to make your personal self be the impersonal self. It is about honoring and respecting that there's this thing in the universe that is very personal and is very little, and it's just what it is. It's not me. And now you start to develop a different relationship with it. You start by noticing it. And I'm asking you, just watch, just get to know it, get to see it. And I'm telling you, it's going to turn your stomach. That's okay. Just respect it for what it is. It's the little self, right? The lower self, the higher self. It's the lower self, so it's going to be lower. Leave it alone. It's okay. Respect that. There it is. All right? It's not me. It's something I'm watching. I'm glad you're listening. I'm telling you, this is your way out. You start that way. Don't hate it. Don't try to change it. Don't try to get rid of it. Don't hide it from yourself. Just see it. Now what? Now declare your independence. What do you mean? Now that you see it and you see you don't want to be it, you're going to notice that it's very strong. I'm having a very honest talk with you. It's very strong. It's one thing to look at it and say, that's ridiculous, right? I mean, this woman who you say you love has certain behavior traits, and you say you love them as long as she doesn't do that. Well, that's not love. And plus which, who are you to decide what behavior traits she should have? She's her, you're you. And if you got something inside of you that can't respect and honor that somebody is different than you and not the way you want them to be, you don't deserve anything, because that's your little self. So that all sounds good, doesn't it? Does that sound good? Let's see you do it. That's what I mean when I say it's strong. So you decide I don't want to be like that, but that thing down there is going to ruin your life. It's going to bother you about things. It's going to bother you that he or she still does stuff like that or something, right? And it's bothersome. All right. So you said, Mickey, just leave it alone, right? Well, what do I do? You do start by respecting and honoring and seeing, yes, there is this part of my being that only cares about itself. Even the people it says it loves, only if they make it feel love, make me feel love. If they don't make me feel love, I guess I don't love them. It's about me. Even that. Love's supposed to be about the other person. Nah, it's about me, isn't it? All right? Wow. And yet, not embarrassed one iota. Of course it's about me. Why else would I be in a relationship? Why would I bother? Oh, God, I told you, that thing's ugly, isn't it? All right? Now, just because you see it doesn't mean it's not going to have its say. And it's strong. You will see your heart close. You will see your thoughts get weird. It controls. It's the psyche. It's got control of that stuff. If you want out and you want a greater life, you need to find a way to be able to be okay when it's like that. Not teach it not to be like that, because then it ran your life. Not convince somebody else. I'll tell you what, we're fair in our relationship. Each day I decide how I want them to change, but they get to tell me how they want me to change. No, please don't smile. That's not a relationship. That's ridiculous. All right? It's not a compromise. It's like basically you're both giving in to your lower selves. You're just trying to do it even Steven. So the net result is what you're going to have to do at some point, and I'm just using some examples, go for every example, is it moves, I don't. Not somebody out there doesn't do the thing that makes it move. Not it doesn't move. It moves, I don't. I'm the one in here watching, and I have learned to be comfortable with the maniac. So if I'm driving down the street, he's in a rush, and someone's driving in front of me slower than the speed limit, and he's doing his little thing, I'm relaxing. He's not relaxing, I'm relaxing. I have learned to be able to be calm, centered, serene, content, comfortable when he's not. That's your only way out. You're not going to get the world, listen to me, you're not going to get the world to be a way that doesn't make her uncomfortable, are you? No one ever has, ever. You basically come down and realize, I need to get comfortable with the fact that there is a part of my being that gets uptight about all these things and has issues. Then I get to choose what my life's about. It has no say. It's welcome to become uncomfortable. It's welcome to get uptight because someone's driving slow. I won't. I relax. So you have now separated yourself. We're getting divorced. You have separated yourself from your lifelong commitment to your lower self. The day that you can be comfortable when he's not, come see me, because your eyes are going to be like deep pools. And guess what? Nothing will knock you off course. Any place you decide to put yourself, you will go there. Why? Because this fickle thing down there that keeps changing its mind, that keeps deciding what it likes and what it doesn't like, is not running your life. That's called liberation. You have freed yourself from the maniac. There was no magic involved. You need to learn to be comfortable when things happen that make your personal self uncomfortable. Is that fair enough? If you want to stop smoking, you need to learn how to not pick up a cigarette when you want to. You're still going to feel the urge to smoke. Don't wait until you don't feel the urge. You'll never stop. You need to learn how to withstand the urge. It's the same thing with your personal self. It is going to make noise. It is going to feel jealous. It is going to get insecure. It is going to feel it said something stupid. What do I do when it thinks it says something stupid and it's making that stupid noise inside? Relax. Say your mantra. Don't participate in the game it's playing. Can you do that? Assert your independence. You are the higher being. It is the lower being. Do not let it run your life. Your answer is you relax your way through it. I am capable of withstanding. That's what I want to know. Are you capable of withstanding the worst that she has to throw at you? The worst your heart can feel and the worst your mind can talk. Because when you're able to do that, you're a great being. Now you don't have to worry about what your heart does. You have to worry about what your mind does. Believe me, it just comes and goes. You get to stay centered, clear. Now you can live the life we talked about. You have risen above your lower self. It goes about its business, and believe me, eventually it stops. If you just ignore the stupid thing, it stops complaining. Just like a kid who threw tantrums. Just go about your business. Don't fight with him. Don't give him what he wants. Guess what? He'll stop. All right? And your lower self starts to fall off, and you start to become clear and reign. Now you get to decide what you want to do with your life. I'm not going to tell you. That's your decision. You decide, and you're going to find that life is fun, life is exciting. You'll wake up in the morning enthused and happy, and everything about your life will become beautiful. Everything will become beautiful. Everything you see, every person you meet, everything that happens to you is fun. You will be better at dealing with it if you're having fun with it. If you're bringing your best, you're not complaining. And that's where we're going to stop. You now have two lives you can live. If you can rise above your lower self, you have earned the right to be, it's called a being of clarity, a being of power, a seer. You're a seer. You're able to see what's actually going on out there instead of see what's going on in here. A whole other life takes place. And then it just opens, and I already talked to you about it. It just expands, and you're going to find that you are the most beautiful being. It's not beautiful. It's pretty ugly. You are beautiful. You who can watch it, you can rise above it. It'll just start expanding, and everyone around you will be raised, and great things will happen because you let go of your personal self. Christ said you must die to be reborn. You have to be willing to die of your connection to the personal self in order to end up being who you are, the spiritual self, a great being. So I often thought I'd like to give a talk about from preference to gratitude. That's what we just talked about. How to move from a life of preference to a life of gratitude, where you just appreciate everything that's happening and have fun with everything that's around you. All right. Work on these things. Jagrata.